I think what this game was important for, obviously the win is incredibly important in the grand scheme of things, but this game was important because the Chiefs showed they still have it, right? Like they can still do what we expect the Chiefs to do. The Chiefs can still do the Chiefs thing of, okay, we're going to win a football game now, and they're going to go on and they're going to win a football game. It's that football show here on KC Sports Network. Tucker Franklin hanging out with Matt Verderame for your Monday edition of that football show. Thank you to our partners, Pitt and Holiday Bottled and Bond Bourbon. And Matt, I might have had a touch too much Pitt and Holiday Bottled and Bond Bourbon out there at old Arrowhead Stadium. If you guys can't tell already, my voice is a bit shot. I was out there at Arrowhead Stadium for the Chiefs and Colts game. The Chiefs do get a huge overtime victory over the Colts, 23-20. But my voice is spent. My voice has had itself a day. We're recording this on Sunday night. Matt, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Doing better than you're doing.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody can give Tucker a pass on his voice because he was doing the Lord's work at the game, getting it done. I was sitting in the house I'm in now, the lake house in Wisconsin, just screaming at them nonstop for 3.5 solid hours, but not in a motivational way, more just screaming at them. Thankfully, up here by myself, so my family didn't have to hear me say things that then we have to explain to the daycare center why my daughter knows that word.
Right.
So that was a win. The bourbon, what the hell? Everyone will live,
right?
But barely. But now, hey, listen, you know what? The Chiefs win 23-20, and I don't know how they won that game.
No.
It's weird because on one hand, they really did dominate the game statistically in every possible way.
Right, yeah.
Other than turnovers and red zone, where the Chiefs were just watch this. We will outgain this team by 8,000 yards and then also almost lose. But they won in about the most inspirational way possible at the end. So, I think you take the good.
Absolutely. I was so at the game, when they kicked the field goal to take obviously the lead and to win the game, I was kind of confused. I was just like, wait, and I was like, this isn't like the liquor talking, right? I was like, how did they win that football game? Because at one point I looked up and it was 20-9, and I was like, there's no shot that this team can win. And then you have you mentioned the Kareem fumble. I think that came a little bit after that, but it was just like, man, this team can knock it out of their own way. Man, they could not get open. That was another thing that was incredibly frustrating. When they tried to run the ball, they actually threw the ball. And that was another thing that was like, oh, man, this game was just everything kind of in the first 3 quarters, Matt, everything that we talked about the Chiefs need to do, they did the opposite of.
Yes.
It's kind of how the first 3 quarters of that game went. And then they're in the fourth quarter, they're like, oh yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. Tie the game, go to overtime, end up winning it. A shout out to the Chiefs for only allowing Jonathan Taylor to run for 58 yards.
Yeah.
And that was, we had talked about that a lot, as the Chiefs were really good at limiting individual rushing performances. Now, the rushing defense is kind of a little suspect at times because they had allowed rushing quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And Daniel Jones, to his credit, I guess in the past, the New York Giants, Daniel Jones was a little bit more of a rusher than he is now for the Colts, but they were able to really stifle that Indy offense that had been so powerful, so potent for the last since the season started. For this whole season, that the Indy offense has really been able to do whatever they wanted, and now Indy loses. This is their second loss in the last 3 games, I believe. Yes. So it's tough sledding there for Indy, but. Man, overall, impressive performance there by the Chiefs defense to kind of stifle out this potent Indy offense.
So that's where I was going to go to lead this.
Yeah.
Because we could talk about Mahomes and his 300 and some odd yards, and
sure,
that's fine. Look, Mahomes, I actually thought Mahomes early in the game, quite honestly, played poorly. But then as the game wore on, Mahomes was just phenomenal down the stretch, made every play. They have no shot in this game if that defense doesn't just play absolutely lights out football down the stretch. And I thought what was most impressive, and I hope for them instructive moving forward. I said all week, look, if there's ever a game to just blitz constantly, it's this game. Like, just blitz him and blitz him and blitz him and see what happens. Like, he's look, this isn't a Colts podcast, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. Kind of turning into a pumpkin. Just going to say it. Like, I've watched every stitch of the Colts the last couple of months, seen every snap. And when he's not under pressure and he's got time, like he's fine. He'll, listen, Steichen's a great play designer and they'll hit their guys. And, they'll get Ashton Doolin one-on-one with Chamari Connor out of the slot, which I can't even express half the words I said when I saw that matchup. But the problem that they have with Daniel Jones is when you get pressure on him, it's a problem.
Yes.
It's a big problem. And Spagnuolo, I honest to God, look, obviously don't know this for a fact. I think when they got down 20-9 and they fumbled the ball and the Colts got I think Spagnuolo's like, fuck it. Yeah. We're just going to blitz him every play and see what happens. And as it turns out, he's terrible when blitzed, under pressure, all the rest of it. By the way, like, they should have had a safety. Amena, who basically got he's bear hugged and thrown out of the club, and it was the most blatant hold of all time. They didn't call it. Yeah. That's fine, whatever. It doesn't matter. I was extremely impressed in two specific things about them defensively. One was 20-9, you fumble that ball. I don't care who you are. You could be the toughest minded team in the world. That is a gut punch of all gut punches. And if you're the defense, there's every opportunity there to just go, you know what? It's not our day. We're just not going to win this game. The offense stinks. Yeah. Can't get in the end zone.
Right.
And instead they bowed up and they actually moved them backwards and forced a 3-0. And then after the Chiefs got it to 2017 and they forced another 3-0, the Chiefs get the ball and it's a forgotten drive at the end of the game because the Chiefs went 3-0 themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That is typically a spot where the air kind of comes out of the balloon. You get a stop, you score, you get another stop, and then you immediately get a 3-0. You got to punt the ball away, and there's 6 minutes left.
Yeah,
and that's kind of a spot. That's the Colts' time. It's Jonathan Taylor. It's short passes. It's get the ball out before you can blitz. And I give it to the Chiefs defense, man. They just were nope, guess what? We're just going to absolutely annihilate you physically on these 3 plays.
Right.
And they got the ball back, and then the offense took care of business. Hell, I thought they were going to win a regulation the way they were moving down the field, but they get in overtime, they win. But those 2 stops, the first one to turn the tide of the game, and it felt like all was lost. And then when the Chiefs couldn't get that drive going there, they go 3-0, and you're like, I don't know. And then the defense stops them again. Yeah. That was, to me, that's the definition of championship swagger, of championship heart. They showed it all in that moment.
I think what this game was important for, obviously the win is incredibly important in the grand scheme of things, but this game was important because the Chiefs showed they still have it, right? They still can, they can still do what we expect the Chiefs to do. The Chiefs can still do the Chiefs thing of, okay, we're going to win a football game now. And they're going to go on and they're going to win a football game. That was starting to become into question of can this Chiefs team actually do that anymore? Can they actually decide that they're going to win a football game? They're going to take over a football game. And can they do that? I thought Chris Jones down the stretch played really well, which you need Chris Jones to do that. Yeah. And look, it's something that as Chiefs fans, we needed to see the Chiefs in the fourth quarter of a game be like, all right, it's over. We're going to win this game now. And hadn't seen that in what week is it? Week 12. We haven't seen that in 12 weeks. So it's one of those things where thank goodness that we did see it. But man, the defense was the brightest spot. Even for me, just watching the game, not even the broadcast copy, live viewing of the game, is man, this defense is standing on its head right now, which made it a little bit more frustrating of what the offense was doing right at the point. And just man, this defense is giving you an all-time game, and you're just going to kind of peter out on mesh and RPOs where you hand off to Kareem Hunt, who had 30 carries, by the way, in 2025. Kareem Hunt, 30 carry game in 2025. Crazy.
Listen, I know you look at the box score and go, 3.5 yards per carry. Kareem Hunt was great in that game.
Oh, yeah, it was.
There were so many 3rd and 1s, 4th and inches where they had to have it. And he kept it rolling. And a lot of times, frankly, where you're did they block anybody? And he would just barrel through some guy. I mean, yeah, obviously the fumble's a killer and you can't have it. But I thought he played really well. I also appreciate Clyde Edwards-Helaire coming in and having 5 carries for 7 yards. That felt big. Just 2025, still running Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It's great.
Yeah.
Elijah Mitchell, just awesome signing. But in any event, look, they ran the ball effectively. They ran with purpose. Rice did nothing for basically 3 quarters.
Right.
And then was just Jerry Rice, the 4th quarter and beyond. I just could not stop him. Worthy is a frustrating guy at times because it felt like the one catch out of the sideline. I'm like, buddy, you've got to go field. I mean, come on.
Yes.
That being said, it is very obvious he is fighting through about 3 different injuries right now. And they had 4 catches, 59 yards. So, listen, I try to be fair. Like, is he performing the way you'd love him to? No. At the same point, like, the guy is like Scotch tape together right now. And he's giving you something. But I just thought, there were a lot of individual performances to look at. I was just super impressed by them as a whole. Like, that game for 46 minutes was just a shit show.
Mm-hmm.
Turnovers, again, by the way, 7 penalties. Like, now one of which was one of the worst calls I've ever seen in my life, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
Never thought I'd defend Juwan Taylor when he gets flagged for something, but here we are.
I thought about you when they threw that flag on Juwan Taylor. I was like, I wonder how Matt's doing.
I was unwell, and then they showed the replay, and obviously you're at the game, so you didn't even get the benefit of this. Gene Steratore is on the air, basically trying to scream over Tony Romo, who's just incoherently yelling about.
I heard that he was really bad this game. Tony was.
I think Tony Romo's a really nice person.
Good, yeah.
He is unlistenable. It's so bad. I actually started muting the game at certain points because I'm like, I can't take listening to this. It's so bad.
Yeah.
If it was a road game, I would have just muted the whole game. Like, I'll tell you right now, Thanksgiving, I'm eating my turkey and peas. I'm not listening to him. I can't take it. But in any event, so Steratore came on and was like, that is a reviewable play, which I was like, I don't think it is. It's a penalty. Apparently, like, Andy can't throw a flag there, but New York can review that. And so I'm sitting there like, okay, well, then they're going to review that, right?
Right,
like, clear as day. You didn't face mask him. No. Just going to let that go, apparently.
Good thing we have an expedited review, though. Good thing that's implicated.
Yes. Shockingly, crickets on Twitter for the mask.
Right.
But listen, you know what? They still did their thing. Special teams continues to just not be able to return a kick or cover one.
Yes. Yeah.
Didn't take like 8 penalties in the process. But in the end, I think you have to have the takeaway. You have to. Like, it was about their heart. Like, that game, that's what that was. Like, there's no other real takeaway from me other than they just, I was saying to my dad during the game as it was unfolding, I was like, this is like the guy who's like, they're dead. They're done. It's over. Like, this is, and then like all of a sudden, like the hand comes up from the grave and it's like, oh my God, like it's like Undertaker coming out of the casket. Like,
yeah.
How is this happening? And as it was going on, as they're driving down the field in overtime, like, they're going to win.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to win this game. This is incredible. If that game doesn't launch them forward, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, then it's never going to happen because it was incredible.
It's a great point. Going back to Kareem Hunt, we talked about him losing a fumble. And in my head, I was like, he really doesn't fumble all that much. Kareem Hunt's pretty good with the football. The last time that I could find that he fumbled, that had a lost fumble, was when in 2022 with the Cleveland Browns, he fumbled against the Houston Texans. And that was his last lost fumble in the regular season. I haven't checked the postseason stuff yet, but I feel like
that's their first lost fumble for the year.
Yeah, right. Yes.
It's a team. They had not lost a fumble. I actually tweeted that. I'm like, the first lost fumble they had probably just ended their season. And then like, the rest of it all happened. Of course, you got the guy on Twitter who's like, oh, I'm like, hey, bro, please.
Comes back 4 hours later and is like, you're a fucking idiot. Yeah, like,
there's no world. You were drinking Clorox. As like, I was tweeting that. Okay. There was no world in that moment. You were like, we're coming back.
Yeah.
Like, no. I mean, you were at the game. For people who weren't at the game, including myself, like, what was that like as they were coming back in that game?
Oh man, it was not great. So I will say that
great when they were coming back.
Oh, when they were coming, I thought you were talking about when the fumble. When he fumbled it, the vibe was not great. Coming back, it was one of the things where it was like, I think everyone was kind of apprehensive, at least around me. It was like, are they actually going to do this? Like, it was kind of like you touch a stove so many times and it's still hot. You're just like, do we still think that the stove is still hot? do we still think that they're still going to come back and win this football game? It's like we didn't want to get burned again. So we were just kind of like, should we touch this stove? Is this actually cool off? Is it fine to touch this? And it was like, oh my goodness, they might actually win it. And I remember it was like going down in overtime. So they got the ball back, right? Because the Colts got the ball first. They ended up punting it. The Chiefs and then they drive all the way down there. I was around in my little area. I was petitioning for the Chiefs to just score a touchdown. It's like, please do not allow Harrison Butker to kick this field goal. Just score the touchdown. Take any question out of it. And then I can't remember what happened or if the Colts called a timeout or what it was. And then they're like, all right, field goal. It's like second down. I was like, second down field goal's crazy, by the way. I was like, you've got two more downs or one more down. Right. Yeah, no, two more downs.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I mean, even if you wanted to kick on third in case you have a bad snap or something. Whatever.
Yeah, and I was like, that's insane. You're just gonna, but they're just, I guess, wanted the game to be done. But the feeling kind of after the game when Harrison Butker's field goal went through the uprights, fireworks going off, it was just a collective exhale of like, oh my goodness. Thank goodness they won that game, because the implication going into that game, obviously, we talked about it on the podcast, but they had to win that football game. The Chiefs needed that football game way more than the Indianapolis Colts needed that football game. And Matt, finally it showed. Finally it showed that the Chiefs realized that they needed to win a football game, because the last 2 weeks we've been talking about how much they've needed to win football games, and they just didn't look like they needed to win a football game. This against the Colts was a phenomenal environment. You mentioned to me when we hopped on, like how loud Arrowhead sounded. It was packed. Like there were so many people there. Noon game. You don't get very many noon Arrowhead games anymore. I thought the crowd and it was a raucous. It was a raucous environment, and as you can tell by my voice, I participated heavily in trying to sabotage Daniel Jones in the Colts offense. But incredible environment, incredible way for that game to end, and just overall, I think that people were just excited to see the Chiefs be the Chiefs again. Like that's the big thing. It's just like, okay, they decided they needed to win a football game, and they did. Because they finally did that this year, which is something we have not seen them do all year.
It's a great way of putting it. The Chiefs being the Chiefs. It felt like this whole year they've done that in spurts, and then they just beat themselves.
It's fleeting,
do it for 20 minutes, half a game, and then they just beat themselves. And in that moment, at the end of that game, you're like, this is the version of this team that can win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This is an ass kicking. I mean, they are just beating the piss out of Indianapolis. By the way, I tallied this up. I said this on my post-game show on my pod. The Chiefs, after the Hunt fumble, outgained them 223-13. I mean, they just took the baseball bat out and went full casino. Right? Here it comes. It was unbelievable. Watching the game, I'm like, it's one of those things that they scored and they got the 2-pointer, and you're like, all right, but the way the season's going, you're like, all right, they're just gonna give it up, or something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then they stopped them. And I was like, all right, maybe. And then the Chiefs immediately went 3 and out. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
There we go. That's the offense I've grown to love in Denver and Buffalo. There we go. And then they stopped them again. And then I was like, okay. And then they immediately took an offensive penalty or backed up to the 3-yard line. I was just, I'm on the phone with my dad, like I usually am during these games. And he was rightfully so oh my God, this team, these penalties. And I was like, I just could date him. I don't even care. I don't care if you got to go 197 yards. Get under the center and just figure it out. You got a Hall of Famer at quarterback. You got all these weapons. I don't give a shit if they've got to start in the parking lot. Get your asses down there and kick a field goal. You've got to do it. You have no other. I think the reason I said is I think in a weird way, the urgency of the moment for them was kind of the galvanizing force there. Look, there is no more runway. This is it. You either do it or you go home. That's it. And they did it. And that's kind of it's hard to say it's about a week 12 game.
Right.
It kind of felt like a playoff game in that regard. It was you get off your ass and do it now or you're done. Figure it. And in the playoffs, they've always pretty much done that. When it's when the moment's been there, it's okay, we're going to do it now. And it felt like in that last, 14 minutes plus overtime, it basically felt like them being okay, Like, fine, let's do it now. And again, I was impressed too defensively. I'm a big fan of aggressiveness. I mean, I grew up, I was going to say, I'm sure that's stunning.
Right. Yeah. I'm shocked.
Real breaking news banner there. I'm a big fan of trying to kill somebody with a blitz. And as is my personality. And I loved it as that game wore on. Spagnolo, if he could have blitzed 12 guys, he would have done it. It was right. Like, you know what? Hell with it. If Michael Pittman Jr. can beat us, they'll let him do it. And if Alex Pierce can beat us, let him do it. And if Tyler Warren, we're just going to bring everybody down into the box and blitz constantly and see what Daniel Jones could do. And the answer was he could do nothing.
Right.
He could do nothing. By the way, nobody on the Colts had 50 yards receiving either.
Yeah, I'm looking at Daniel Jones' fourth quarter stats right now. I had him pulled up. 3 for 9, 17 yards. Jonathan
he should have been picked off. Connor and Bolt ran into each other fighting to pick him off.
Yeah. Jonathan Taylor had 3 carries for 1 yard.
So Jones in that game, you said he was 3 for 9?
In the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm. And then in overtime, he was 1-1 for 4 yards. So 4 of 10 for 13 yards.
Yeah.
A big showing.
Yeah. Then you don't really want that from the guy that you just traded 2 first-round picks for a corner because you feel really confident about your quarterback situation. For him to then do that in the fourth quarter in overtime of a game that is a pretty important game in the grand scheme of things. His
last 2 passes in the third quarter were also incompletions. So he finished 4 of 12 for 13 yards.
Oh, Daniel.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something right now. He's firmly on pumpkin watch. And I don't want to be on pumpkin watch with the Texans coming to town because that offense is not good. But let me tell you something.
They're going to play the Texans twice at the end of the year, don't they?
Your schedule is very weird. So they have 6 games left. Houston twice. Jacksonville twice.
Right.
At Seattle, the Niners on a Monday night.
What the fuck?
Very strange.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you right now, if you're struggling when you're under pressure, not the defense you're going to play. I mean, they are going to be cooking off the edge in that game.
They might need to bring out the same people who are investigating that Mark Sanchez case in Indianapolis to the Texans game because they might need to have another investigation.
Mark Sanchez is no longer with Fox, by the
way. I did see that. I quoted it and said, why, what happened?
In the same way that Chip Kelly's no longer with the Raiders, but for different reasons.
Right. No, Chip Kelly didn't stab anybody. We need to make that abundantly clear. Chip Kelly did not stab somebody.
Violence, and the other decidedly did not. And so they are no longer employed, but for different reasons.
Oh, my gosh.
Albert Breer, my colleague at SI, tweeted out that Chip Kelly was given $6 million a year to be the highest paid coordinator in the NFL and lasted 11 games.
Shout out the Raiders, man. The Raiders know how to pay him.
The Raiders are just like a fund.
Yeah.
Like an unemployment fund.
My dream is actually to be a fired Raiders head coach. That's my dream job.
The good news is all you have to do is be there for 3 months.
Right. That's it. You have to do kind of a little bit of work and then you'll get paid for the rest of your life.
It's unbelievable. Like, I like to know how long that contract is for. Like,
that's a great point.
Like, is that like a 4-year, $24 million contract?
God, if it is, that's the worst contract in sports. It's worse than Bobby Bonilla.
We're one bad year away from the Raiders bringing back Antonio Pierce because he's all they can afford. Like, listen, Antonio, you did a terrible job. Come back for $80K. Okay.
Come back for whatever we were still paying you.
Yeah, let's just bring it back in your current deal that we're all tied into. Yeah. No, I mean, listen, there's a lot to say about the Chiefs game, but also like there's nothing more that needs to be said. Like they won that game based off of heart. Like they really did. I mean, sure they executed down the stretch, but now they go into play Dallas on Thursday, which we haven't talked about this because you've been working your way back and I've been working, but I don't think we're having our show for Thanksgiving. That's
a good question. I pulled up the Google Sheets that I have constructed before that lays out all the KCSN shows. I kind of forgot that this was Thanksgiving week, and I'm glad that you reminded me. No, I don't think so. We're going to have this show come out, and then you want to do 5 things? We can do 5 things.
Fantastic. But no, I mean, it's a game in Dallas. Like, look, Dallas, to their credit, they've won their last two. The Philadelphia game was ridiculous. They won that game.
Yeah.
24-21, they're down 21-0. Philadelphia decided to stop playing football for 3 quarters, and Dallas came back and won. Look, Dallas can throw the ball. I mean, Pickens has like 1,100 yards receiving already, and CeeDee Lamb is CeeDee Lamb. They really don't have anybody else who catches the football. Like, Jake Ferguson has 60 catches for 400 yards, which is just hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's possible. He's averaging 6 yards of reception. It's a tight end. But, look, I mean, offensively, they're good. The receivers are great. Defensively, they are like tailor-made for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
They really are. I mean, they play nothing but zone coverage. Literally nothing but zone coverage.
Thank goodness.
The last time the Chiefs saw Matt Eberflus, I want to make sure I'm right with this.
Ooh.
It was the Taylor Swift game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they scored like 35 points and a half. I mean,
yeah. It was brutal for Matt Eberflus.
Not great. Like, this is for a team in the Chiefs that man defense is basically like a Rubik's Cube to a toddler.
Yeah.
Eberflus does nothing but play zone defense, like legitimately 100% of the time. So the other thing is, like, they get their pressure from the interior where the Chiefs are really good.
Correct. Yeah.
Like, this could be a game where the Chiefs just score relentlessly, but who knows? I mean, it also could be a game where Andy decides to feature Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So I think any and all eventualities are on the table. But listen, as great as this win was for the Chiefs, as meaningful, as impactful as it is, it means nothing if they don't beat the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday. They have to win that game. You have to go in that game, because then you get a mini bye and you come home and you play the Texans and the Chargers, who are like respectable teams, but also teams like, if you're at home, you should win those games.
Yeah. Right.
Like, you should win those games. I mean, the Texans have a great pass rush and all that. And like, they also play man coverage, God almighty. But like, the Texans also might score like 9 points. So, and then the Chargers, like, the Chargers are just falling apart like day by day. So
correct. Yeah.
The 2 year last 3 are the Titans and the Raiders, which if you can't win those games, just pack it in. Like, you probably have one game to play with, but you don't want that game to be Dallas. You want to be able to go into the last 5 games of the year going, hey, if we lose one, it's not a disaster. And oh, by the way, we only have 2 road games left, and it's the Titans and the Raiders. So, like, 2-1 at home and winning those 2 games, and we're a playoff team.
Chiefs have been really good at home this year. We talked about this on the podcast. They've been incredible at home, really the last 2 years. I don't think they lost a home game last year, if I remember correctly, off the top of my head. And
lost to Denver in the last game of the year. And they lost, they were undefeated.
Yeah, so undefeated at home, and then they've lost 1 game this year as against the Eagles at home. So they've been a really good home team this year. On the road, it's been a different story. But
which is odd, because they've been a great road team for like years on end.
Right, Mahomes like never lost on the road in the division for like 7 years.
Yeah, they were an unbelievable road, like better on the road than they were at home all year.
Yeah.
So then this year they decided to just like even it all out.
Yeah, sure, whatever, that's fine. But very interesting. This upcoming matchup with the Dallas Cowboys. But we got to take our break. Here. We're going to burn our one timeout that we have, and I'm going to use it in a timely manner, unlike other NFL head coaches around here. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back right after this. We probably should talk a little bit more about that Cowboys matchup. I think that gives us a good segue into talking about that game and kind of other games that happened on Sunday around the NFL, because that was a really interesting game that happened. You mentioned it a little bit already, the Cowboys and the Eagles. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the Chiefs matchup with the Cowboys coming up right after this. Chiefs.
Calling all Chiefs fans, you could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pre-game coin toss. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
I had a loose broker owner, KC Local Homes, and Emprise Bank has been a great partner for us. They're our partner in Possible. Debbie and I hit it off immediately, and she was one of the first bankers that I would say sat down with me and actually genuinely cared about my story and where I was coming from and what I was trying to do, not just what kind of loan do you need, how much equity do you have, and she really kind of laid out my options for me and just made the process make sense, and I felt comfortable with it. Start to talk about it and think about it, a building popped up that I wanted, that I could afford, and it was in a great area. And so they really guided me through the SBA. I used the SBA loan to acquire it and really guided me through that process and made it happen. I think that we talk about that a lot, where we wouldn't have a business. We wouldn't have what we have here if we didn't have the clientele that we do. I've always functioned out of a people over profits mentality. The houses sell themselves, right? I'm here to help people and facilitate the transaction for them.
Missouri, big news. It's almost your turn to get in the game because DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to the Show Me State on December 1st. Soon you'll get fast payouts when you win, a safe and secure app that's easy to use, and promos that keep the action going all season long. No wonder it's America's top-rated sportsbook app. The countdown is on. New customers can sign up right now and score $300 in bonus bets on launch day. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code KCSN. New Missouri customers sign up today and score $300 in bonus bets once we're live. That's code KCSN. The crown is yours. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply, subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets are not withdrawable and expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Now, when I got home from Arrowhead Stadium,
getting out of the car.
I did need help getting out of the car. I also took a nap after that game, and I was actually on my TV that I have up right now. I had Cowboys and Eagles on that TV,
nice.
And I saw that game, and I was like, boy, the Eagles are kind of putting it to them right now.
Yeah,
man, I was like, man, the Eagles are kind of doing it to them, and I fell asleep. And I said, well, maybe, yeah. And apparently so did the Eagles. They come back. The Cowboys come back to win 24-21. I believe the last thing I really remember happening in that game. Did I make this up? Did Brendan Aubrey?
I had a fever dream while I was blacked out.
Did he miss a field goal?
Yes, 56 yards.
Okay, so he missed that. That's the last thing I remember. I was like, oh, it's not. If he's gonna miss field goals, not a great day for the Cowboys. But apparently,
you're talking about Aubrey.
Yeah.
Oh, I was talking about the Eagles. Did Aubrey miss a field goal? God, I was watching a million different things, and the game got so out of hand. I was kind of flipping around for a little.
Oh, fair enough.
Let me see. Did Aubrey miss field goal? Aubrey, yes, he did.
Okay.
Yes, he did.
So he missed a field goal. I don't know how long it was. I've got the box score
right now. But yeah, he missed 51 yards.
Okay. So he missed that, and I was like, well, I mean, that's probably it for the Cowboys, right? If he's going to be missing field goals, and this team can't do anything. It's this Eagles defense. But Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys offense prevailed. And also the Cowboys defense showed up. When you look at the drive summary, it was the last 6 or 7 drives for the Eagles were punt, missed field goal, fumble, punt, something like that. And it's one of those things where the Cowboys got the momentum running at the right time. They had a big Monday night victory, and then they come into this game where they didn't have another big home victory as well. The Cowboys are kind of getting, I don't want to say hot, because I don't know if they're necessarily hot at the right time to face the Chiefs, but they're definitely riding some momentum coming into this matchup with the Chiefs.
Yes. I mean, they beat the Raiders, which.
Yeah, right.
I'm not sure at this point, and I say this is, I understand Chiefs won against the Raiders earlier this year. I'm not sure that qualifies as a victory anymore.
The Browns just beat them.
Yeah. Beat them. They're 24-3 on them.
Yeah, smoked them. I got to adjust the massless rankings is what I got to do right now. That's what I got to pull up right now.
That's a tier. It might need to be its own tier. But also, by the way, I'll get the Cowboys in one brief second. Up and Adams tweeted out, the Sunday Night Football game just ended for those of you who will watch it tomorrow night. What he's talking about. Sunday Night Football just ended. The Rams are the Super Bowl favorites, followed by the Eagles. The favorite to come out of the AFC, the Kansas City Chiefs. Bang. We are back.
So back. We never left. We never left.
You know who's not even in the picture in the top 6? The Bills,
yeah,
Denver, New England, like Baltimore. No, none of them. Not, the only other team that even in the picture is Indianapolis.
Crazy.
Yeah, wild. And we saw Daniel Jones go full pumpkin mode. I'll tell you right now, GCM in a playoff game, Spags is blitzing coming off the plane. Maybe that was, but anyway, so let's go back to Dallas. So yeah, Dallas is the kind of team that, to their credit, when they get going offensively, they can really get going.
Yeah.
Lamb is a terrific receiver. Pickens is having an incredible year. Talk about somebody who's about to get paid. Okay. He's going to need a fortune. They're not like Javonte Williams has been a very good back for him as well this year. He's quietly had a very nice season. They don't catch the ball out of the backfield. And the tight end I mentioned earlier, like Jake Ferguson's weird because he's a decent enough player, but you look at his numbers and you're like, oh, Jake Ferguson, like, okay, he's a good, solid player. Jake Ferguson has 60 receptions for 400 yards. Like that's impossible.
Yeah.
So now I think after the Eagles game, he has 65 for 460 or whatever. I mean, the point still stands. Like it's very bizarre. So like when Ferguson catches the ball, like he had 14 targets against the Bears and had 13 catches for 82 yards. What?
Yeah.
So yeah, no 100-yard games, no 90-yard games, no 85-yard games. Like
you got to pay that guy though. You got to make sure if you got a really good edge rusher, you got to pay him ahead of him.
If it's him or it's Micah Parsons, come on, please.
I mean,
so like the Cowboys really, if you can limit Pickens and Lamb,
yeah,
that's kind of their offense. I mean, yeah, look again, Williams is a good player and it's fine, but like that's kind of their offense. Defensively with the Cowboys, they've been really bad this year by and large. You can throw all over the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, Hurts throw all over them in this game, but the Eagles just went into like hibernation mode at the end. I should say the end, the last 3 quarters of it.
Right.
Look, but Dallas is a team that if you're the Chiefs, I think you go into the game with the thought process like we are just going after them in the air. Like there's really no reason not to. They're 30th in the league in pass defense, only better than the Steelers and the Bengals, and like barely better than the Steelers and the Bengals. The Chiefs, by the way, if you're wondering, going into the day, were 11th, and one of only 11 teams that's under 200 yards against per game passing. So, listen, it's a team that if you're the Chiefs, I think, you're throwing the ball at them. Not that they're great. They're in the 20s against the run, too. It's like this some great run defense. But yeah, look, they play nothing but zone. If I'm Patrick Mahomes, like, great, I'm going to see Kyrie Elam. Feeling pretty good about that. Like, I'm just going to throw a ball.
Yeah. I think it's a good matchup for the Chiefs offense to kind of figure some things out. Throwing the ball wise, but like also this defense, this Cowboys defense is not good. Like, I mean, we watched them against Denver. They made. I shouldn't say anything about Bo Nix.
I was going to say Bo Nix will let the Chiefs have like a Christmas tree, but
yeah.
They give up 44 points to Denver. Okay,
yeah.
And I mean, sacks wise, like this is a defense. It's just not a lot going on.
I mean, I've always said they're just like kind of like one pass rusher away. If they had a really good pass rusher, I think they would be a really good defense. I think it's kind of a huge. Yeah, so hopefully they had one.
Like they're really good inside because they have like Clark and Adigizua and Williams, but like that's where the Chiefs are really good.
Yeah.
So. Like James Houston's leading them with 4.5 sacks. Like, I mean, like it's one of the biggest fear I have in this game. Although it's kind of canceled out because Dallas also has the same problem. sometimes when you come off a really emotional win, it's hard to get back to square.
Yep.
But Dallas also just came off of a really emotional win. Of course, unfortunately for them too, they're dealing with the tragedy and everything else, and non-football stuff there. I feel very confident that if the Chiefs go out and execute, they'll win the game. They're just better than them. I mean, they're just better. And I think you could sit there and say, well, Dallas is a good offense. Yeah, but the Chiefs defensively are a good football team. Dallas is not good defensively. It's kind of like the meme of like the three soldiers and then like the ones that's like a clown.
Clown, yeah.
And that's Dallas's defense. Right? Where you're like, oh, the other three units are like all pretty good. And then you're just like, oh my God, like what the hell is that?
Yeah.
That's Dallas defensively. So
it's fair.
Yeah, if you're the Chiefs, you need to win that game, and you frankly should win that game.
Absolutely. Look, I would be remiss too if I didn't mention that we got our Solo KC holiday raffle going on as well right now. I don't know if you guys saw on social, but there's a lot of cool prizes we got this year. A lot of different prizes that we have this year than the years past. We'd usually just done a bunch of like Chief stuff, but now we decided to reach out and do a little bit more of just more than just Chief stuff. You can get $10 for one ticket, 5 tickets for $25, 15 for $50, or 50 tickets plus a 1-year paid subscription to KCSN.com for $100 right there. You can Venmo at KC Sports Network, or you can go to getbutter.com/KCSN. So you have a chance to win a Rashee Rice signed jersey. We have a Dwayne Bowe signed jersey, Trent McDuffie signed jersey, Rashee Rice and Patrick Mahomes signed many helmets. There's 2 separate helmets, not the same helmet, signed by 2 people. We have a Super Bowl ticket collection. There's Mike Tyson's Punch-Out signed gloves and poster. That's pretty sick. I don't know if I should send you that picture, Matt, but like that poster's pretty sick. As well as the Keanu Reeves signed Matrix poster, Michael B. Jordan signed Creed poster, Taylor Swift signed poster and vinyl as well. You also have some great gift cards and packs from all of our great sponsors: Tickets for Less, Holiday Distillery, Capital Grill, Tacos for Life. Go get involved in that. Help some kids have a really good Christmas with Operation Breakthrough. All the proceeds go to the Operation Breakthrough Christmas store, which we will be shopping at Dick's House of Sport over there in Leawood for all of these kids at Operation Breakthrough. Help them have a really good Christmas. All those proceeds go to that. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring that up as we are getting close to the Thanksgiving season, and we will be taking tickets until December the 4th. Yes, December the 4th. And then we'll be drawing the winners on the post-game show immediately following it on December the 7th. So go get involved in that. Really do appreciate everybody's generosity towards that initiative. It's everyone in KC has been very receptive and open to everything that we've done at the KCSN Foundation. That's been really great. But Matt, I got to talk about something that happened after the game too for the Chiefs, because they did sign Dameon Pierce. Dameon Pierce was actually he was I almost said laid off, and I was like, that's not how this happens, but he like kind of was. He was cut from the Texans before their game on Thursday night, right? If I remember correctly, like right before the game, they're just like, oh yeah, by the way, see ya, don't come back, and kind of crazy. And then he is signed after the game to the Chiefs per Jordan Schultz. They're bringing in former Texans Dameon Pierce, 1,000-yard rusher, had a really good. Was that a rookie or his second year? His rookie year was really good with the Texans, and you thought that he was going to be a really good running back, and he kind of fizzled out after that. He comes in and joins a Chiefs running back room that has much to be desired in the running back room. Overall thoughts on Dameon Pierce joining the Chiefs?
It's fine. Like,
yeah.
I mean, he's rushed for like 650 yards over the last like 3 seasons. I'd love to sit here and be like, oh, it's good. Like, I try to just keep it real. Like, I also is he ever going to see the field ever?
That's a great question to ask at this point. Mm-hmm.
I feel like they could sign like in his prime Walter Payton and the Chiefs say, well,
does he know the system really?
I mean, we have Clyde, so I mean, why play the greatest running back of all time when you could just slam it into the line for 1.4 yards carry?
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
I forget, dude. There was a play in the game, a very important spot. It was like in the 4th quarter, and they ran with Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I yelled, "Why is Clyde in the game?"
I just started screaming, like a mental patient in the lake house by myself, just screaming. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me with this. Is this a bit at this point? Like, what are you doing? But they ended up surviving it. But I look forward to You know what? Honestly, I hope he shuts me. I hope that Clyde has such a great game on Thanksgiving. Like they give him like the turkey leg.
He gets the turkey leg. Yeah. That's sick.
But it's not what's going to happen. But Dameon Pierce, look, yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like he was really good. He's still 25 years old. He's not old or anything. But
right. Yeah.
He's been pretty ineffective for a while now. I don't know. His rookie year ended with a pretty bad injury, if I remember right. Didn't he have didn't he blow his knee out?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
He definitely got hurt at the end
Let me
of the
double
year.
check that. Yeah.
But he hasn't done much the last 3 years. He's gotten us. I don't mind picking him up. Like, there's no downside.
Absolutely. He's better than any other running back.
That's going to happen out of it.
Yeah.
But also, like, Elijah Mitchell has never seen the field pretty much this season. So,
well, he did. He was targeted on maybe the worst interception Mahomes has ever thrown. Well, second worst this year in his career.
Yeah. Somehow that was like taken out on Elijah Mitchell. So I was like, you did this.
Right, yes.
You did this. Why?
You were on the field. He was targeting you. It's your fault.
You had the audacity to be open. Son of a bitch. Why didn't you go up higher for that ball?
Right.
If you had ascended to heaven, we would have caught that. Yeah. So great job with the Chiefs. Like I feel like Dameon Pierce should legitimately look like Jim Brown in practice. And
yeah,
like I mean, look, guy, he couldn't look any better. But we have Clyde as RB3, and so we just can't do it. Like, yeah, I don't know. I would be like shocked if he gets the ball more like 5 times this season.
So what I'm looking at now at draftsharks.com/fantasy/injury history for Dameon Pierce. So this is a real.
This is like with like a paywall and ask if you're 18.
Right. He had a high ankle sprain in December of 2022, and a high ankle sprain that put him on the IR.
Okay.
Of December 2022, and then he has had that ankle injury has been kind of nagging for him, and missed 4 weeks in 2024 with a hamstring injury as well. So lower body injuries, not great for running backs. I'll say that right now. But here's the thing too about Dameon Pierce, and I think this is probably more an indictment on the Chiefs running back room, is he's probably the best running back they have in that room now, like talent-wise, which is like not great to talk about. But like they signed Dameon Pierce, and I kind of got a little excited, like, whoa, this guy might be better than anyone they have, and he's not good. Like he just got cut. Like that's not good.
Yes, the Texans are like Woody Marks is fine.
Right? Yes, Woody Marks. That's a fake player.
Do we think Pacheco played Thursday?
Probably. He was a full participant on like Wednesday's practice, right? And then he went full limited and then didn't play or something, didn't practice or something like that.
I can look, but he didn't like. I think he practiced limited.
Yeah,
and then didn't play. So I'll be curious if they play him on Thursday or if they just try to get him through Thursday, then to give him another week and a half off.
True, they could do that. So my thought process was they either do that or they don't play him this game and then want him for the Thanksgiving game. It's like, okay, we got a short week. Don't play this game and then play Thanksgiving. You'll be good there. So that'll be, if he misses the Cowboys, that'll be the third game he's missed, right? Because he didn't play against Denver.
No, the fourth game, Buffalo too.
He didn't play against Buffalo. Oh my gosh.
Right.
When did he hurt it?
Washington. I was at the game. Got hurt.
That's right. It was a weird tackle, and that's when he was. Yeah, he was really excited on the sideline. He's like, "Yeah, I didn't tear my ACL."
Yeah.
Little he would not play another snap.
Yes, he's being wally pipped by Clyde as we speak. And he's like, "How many yards did Clyde get?" So he's like 7. Like, awesome.
I think it's really cool that you were the first person ever in history to say wally pipped by Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the history of ever.
I am definitely that. It's disgraceful. Listen, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Like it was funny because at one point, I don't know if you saw us in the stadium or not, but Rice caught a pass late in the game and it looked like he kind of pulled his hamstring.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so they're talking about it in the booth. And Nance is talking about it, and Romo's doing whatever Romo's doing. But like, Nance is having like a one-person conversation. Okay, and so like he tried to come back on the field. Or at least it appeared that he tried to come back on the field, and then they kind of, it looked like they were like, no, don't go back out there because it was like a run play.
Mm.
Then they brought him back out. And I was thinking to myself, like, if there's ever a time to just be like, look, I don't care if you have to go out there in a wheelchair to run your route. Like, you have to be on the field. This is it. And it made me think about a story of like old school NFL stuff that like this nowadays, it would be a lawsuit. But
right.
So there was a guy on the Packers, pretty good tight end. He ended up playing for the Dolphins as well, won a bunch of Super Bowls. Mark Fleming. And he got hurt. He broke his leg. And I believe it was during training camp. And so he gets hurt, breaks his leg. And the doctor tells Lombardi, Vince Lombardi, their coach, Hall of Fame coach, tells him, hey, look, Fleming's going to be out for 6 weeks. He broke his leg. So Lombardi went up to Fleming and was like, hey, listen, heard you broke your leg. Is the bone sticking out?
Yeah.
He's like, well, no, but like, I broke my leg. He's like, yeah, great. I'll see you in 2 weeks. And Fleming was like, well, I can't. He's like, well, I can't guarantee you that you're going to have a job then, Marv. So Marv Fleming came back on a shattered leg in 2 weeks and played this season with it. And they went on to win the Super Bowl. And I was like, we might be at a spot in the season where Andy goes up to Rashid and is like, hey, listen, Rashid, if it's not torn off the bone here, we're going to need you to just kind of drag your leg through a little drag route here.
Yeah, right.
You know, a little mesh concept.
Yeah,
it is a hobble through. You know, we have to give you a crutch. That's fine. But yeah, thankfully it didn't come to that.
One of those scooters, you know, you put your knee up on the scooter and you scoot around.
Whatever it takes. You know, you're still faster than half the receivers on the team over the last 5 years. So go nuts.
Unfortunately, that is true. That's a bummer. Any other games around the NFL, Matt, that tickled your fancy? I think we talked about a little bit. I
mean, we covered Thursday Night Football. The Raiders are hilarious. We talked about the fact they fired Chip Kelly. They got killed by Cleveland at home. Like, I think it's fair to say J.J. McCarthy's terrible.
Yeah, no, I'm comfortable saying
one more snap at J.J. McCarthy. He's awful.
Is it J.J. McCarthy or is it 9? Who is it? Who's bad?
One and the same, my friend. They are, Paul. Didn't he like end his presser saying that?
Oh yeah, he talked about how he had like an alter ego when he goes on the field. It's 9.
That's right.
What he called it.
9. Guess what? Like it's at this point, like they're counting to 9. Yeah. Down their way to 10. And Anthony Amico, who I'm not familiar with, nothing against him, but he's works, I believe, over Established the Run. Great name. And he tweeted out he hat tips Danny Heifetz on this one, but says J.J. McCarthy now ranks 851 out of 852 in EPA per dropback among qualified passers since 2000.
Holy shit.
Per True Media, 851 of 852. Would you like to take a guess who the one quarterback is who's worse?
Nathan Peterman.
No, but damn, that's a good guess.
Thank you. Is it like I assume it's like a qualified starter? Oh, it is. Fuck.
It's somebody who's like infamously horrendous.
I can only think about Nathan Peterman right now.
Jamarcus Russell says hello.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, Jamarcus Russell.
Okay.
That makes sense. Since 2000. Okay,
Kelly's like, hey, he's also getting paid by the Raiders.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. It's not good for J.J. McCarthy, who threw 2 picks and genuinely looked like he doesn't belong in an NFL field. So the Packers.
That means Nathan Peterman's been better than J.J. McCarthy.
Yes.
Sorry, I haven't stopped thinking about Nathan Peterman since I said his name.
I remember when the Bills drafted Josh Allen and they were like, we're going to play Nathan Peterman to start the year. And they were getting absolutely annihilated in Baltimore in week 1. And they're like, all right, that's enough of that.
Yeah. You know what's really funny is that like Nathan Peterman wasn't even a good college quarterback. He like sucked in college. Like maybe he can be good pros.
He went to Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, he's a Pitt quarterback. Yeah.
I always remember him because I remember that game, watching him just get absolutely just blasted out of Baltimore. And oh my God. And I also remember, oh God almighty, I'm going to forget who the quarterback was. It was the same year. So it's 2017. It was Mahomes' rookie year. And so it was Deshaun Watson's rookie year, back when Deshaun Watson was, like not the worst person / player on earth.
Right, yeah.
And everybody's like, okay, Deshaun Watson there. And Bill O'Brien was like, no, we're not going to play Deshaun Watson. We're not going to do it. And they come out in this game, and I'm going to pull it up. I got to find,
oh, yeah.
So it was, who the hell's the quarterback? I want to say it was like Ryan Mallett. I could be wrong about that.
It might have been, no.
It's 2017. Okay, it was Tom Savage. Okay, so they're playing Tom Savage against Jacksonville, which sounds ridiculous, but that was like when Jacksonville had that unbelievable defense for like 2 years.
Yes. AJ Bouye.
All of them, yeah. Greg
Ramsey.
Yes. Like all those guys, Miles Jack, like the whole band, right?
Man, AJ Bouye, that is a guy that I thought he was going to be. I thought he was so good.
Yeah, so Jacksonville, they gave him $80 million in experiment.
Right. I would have got fooled too. I'm just saying, I would have also got fooled.
So they bring like Watson is obviously the first round pick and the hope and everything else. And Bill O'Brien's like, no. Tom Savage is our guy. We're rolling with Tom Savage until Deshaun Watson's ready. They yanked Tom Savage at halftime.
Yeah, good.
They spent the whole summer giving Tom Savage number 1 reps and then saw him for a half, which, by the way, he was sacked 6 times in the half. And they're like, we're good. As it turns out, we're good. 7-13 for 62 and 6 sacks. Houston lost 29-7 that day. And that was the end of that. But yeah, other than that game the Lions, did you see James Winston's touchdown catch?
Yes, they did show that at Arrowhead. They showed that on the Jumbotron, and I was so excited. I was like, why are you cheering?
You won the 2023 Chiefs. Maybe you won for half the year. Okay.
Marquez Valdes-Scantling wishes he could do that.
Malik Neighbors lit up the Giants on Facebook afterwards, and then it's immediately deleted it.
Did he really?
Yeah, he just torched them. He's like, we have to be losing on purpose at this point, right? Like, this is so bad, it's painful. And then just deleted it. They have 517 yards against the Lions.
Really?
Yeah, that seems like a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. 517 yards.
Damn. They scored 27 points against the Lions.
Wan'Dale Robinson had 112 yards in the first quarter.
156 for the game.
Yeah. Also, last 2 things I've got. Jackson Smith-Njigba is now on a pace for 2,000 yards. Something to watch.
Good, yeah. He's good. He's good as wide receiver. I don't know if this has been said by anybody, but he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's not bad. And somebody who's not is Trevor Lawrence, who stinks.
Yeah. How the fuck did the Chiefs lose to that team?
3 picks and a lost scoop and score fumble. That was basically another pick. He was throwing it and got hit, and they rolled it a fumble.
Yeah.
I watched it. He is awful. They should have won that game against Arizona by, 17 points.
Yeah.
If you did overtime, because Trevor Lawrence just wouldn't stop throwing it to the other team. It was unbelievable. Every time you're like, oh, they have control of this game, he would just throw some back-breaking interception at some guy. Okay.
Jacoby Brissett threw 49 times in that game. That's a problem.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. And he was terrible. Dude, that's the other thing. All these people like Jacoby Brissett, seems like a great guy, whatever.
Oh, sure. He's a phenomenal dude.
Fine as a backup. Dude, he's awful.
Yeah.
Anytime he's under the slightest bit of pressure, it's a straight rocket to the moon. And it just comes down like a helium ball. Just see what happens. It's like 2 guys going for a tip-off in the NBA.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, by the way, your Magic beat my Knicks here tonight without Pablo, and the Knicks just gave up 175 points. It was great.
Yeah. I think that's the second time they beat the Knicks this year.
Yeah.
The first time Paulo did play. And
that's more acceptable.
Yeah.
Paulo didn't play. The Magic were like, I don't know about this game. They went out and scored 150 points. That's great. Thanks.
Yeah. There's a really weird part of the Magic, which I don't know how I feel about this, because Paulo's a really good basketball player, in my opinion. They're almost better when he doesn't play, and I don't know how I feel about that.
It's odd.
It is very odd. Because Franz is also really good. Franz is a very good basketball player.
Yes.
They got the what? Did you see this? The Wagner Bros did their handshake, and one of them is milking the udders. So one guy does like the thumbs upside down, and then the other one pulls on the thumbs.
Not seeing that. That's going to draw fine.
It's quite aggressive and very, very German of them to do.
I was going to say, I feel like that's a very like international.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't see two guys on like Pepperdine doing that.
No. Pepper Gonzaga. Hell no. They're not.
Conference situation, are they?
Yeah, very, very, very much not doing that. I did see there was a buzz at Arrowhead Stadium when the Jets were beating the Ravens there for a little bit, but the Ravens have now won 5 straight games, and don't look now. Don't look now. You know the meme that's like objects in the mirror might be closer than they appear. It's the guy like running. That's in the background. Like that's the Ravens and the Steelers who lost to the Bears.
The Steelers are like a broken down car with like 4 wheels off, like just on the box. And
had their carburetor stolen out of it.
Sunday. Yeah, like I've never been more certain of something in my life than that game being 2020 in the fourth quarter of the Bills and Steelers. Like just a game that you look at and there's no logical way the Steelers should even be in the game.
Yeah,
they will be.
Right.
Like they'll rush for like 7 yards a carry, and they'll like TJ Watt will have 9 sacks. And it's like, what the hell is happening? Like, Allen will throw like that one ball game that he always throws. You go like, wait, oh my God, like what the hell? Like what? Throw right at Jalen Ramsey. But like even with all those like blunders, like the Steelers will still like it'll be like 6 field goals and a safety,
right?
20-20, and then it's just like, do the Bills make like one play, or does Boswell win it with like a 97-yard field goal at the gun?
It's like in Madden when you used to like you could change the weather, and you could make the wind, so you kick a field goal with the wind. Have it carry it all the way there
on the wings of an angel. I mean, the Steelers are such a bullshit team.
Yeah,
like they just like every game that team's in is just total bullshit. Like you never like it doesn't matter where it is, who it's against, like who's involved. It's just like the dumbest possible 60 minutes are about to unfold. And it comes down to like 3 plays, So I look forward that the Steelers just desperately trying to stay alive. The Bills, like maybe I saw like some stat. I think it was Matt Williamson, give him credit. He was like, like the Steelers have given up 27 more explosive pass plays than they have like created. And I was like, well, buddy, have you seen the Bills try to throw the ball? This is going to be a rock fight for the ages.
I was going to say, stoppable force versus movable object.
They play like they're in a racquetball court. Like that's the furthest outfield they can go. You're like, all right, like what if we put 22 guys in a racquetball court and just like, how much space can you create? That's the Bills. It's like Keon Coleman's time to shine. Like just throw it as high as you can and see what happens.
If he plays, who knows? He might be better.
May not even play. Hardman's on IR. Like Dave
also.
Davis,
so funny.
Regis pass interference to end the game. I mean, I don't know, man. This AFC, all bets are off. Like, that's why if you're the Chiefs, I don't care what seed you are. Just get in.
Yeah. Get to the dance.
You play 3 reasonable football games, you're in Super Bowl 60.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, hey, you have one good game in you, and like that's it. You and so like the AFC this year. The best part about this season, the playoffs are going to be unbelievable.
Oh, they're going to be so good.
So often, bro, you go into games and you're like, especially in the wild card round, you're like, all right, this is a murder. And like, this is, you have no clue what's going to happen in these games. like, what happens if it's like Bills Broncos in the wild card game? Like, who knows, man? I don't know what the hell's going to happen. Do you know what the takes are going to be if Bo Nix beats Josh Allen in a playoff game? Oh my!
I don't know if I'd survive that. Truthfully, I'm already getting a lot of shit for all the Bo Nix slander that I had a whole extra week, right, to have Bo Nix slandered, especially with the way he played against the Raiders. I was like, all right, 360 windmill dunking on Bo Nix for a whole goddamn week, and the Chiefs made me look like a fucking bozo. Yeah, with their performance.
I so badly like as long as Kansas City gets in, like I want the Jags to get in.
Yeah,
and like go to Denver and just smoke them. And you're like, what the hell? Like, what the hell just happened? it's just such a ridiculous year. Where you look at these teams and you're like, hey, man, you get in, anything's possible. Right. Anything. Nothing is surprising. So, yeah, we'll see. But it's Chiefs survive. Huge win. And now they go to Dallas in less than 100 hours and play another very important game. And if they win that game, then the ball starts rolling downhill.
Damn, less than $100 for real?
We have no time. I got to write a crap load of stuff, man, between Monday and Tuesday. I got pods to do.
Holy shit.
I know. I got a lot of pods. I got this. They got to write stuff because that's like for my actual job.
Right, yeah.
I got to drive 4 hours back home tomorrow morning. Kids got an appointment at the dentist on Monday. I got to go, on Tuesday morning. I got to go talk to somebody who's supposed to make me a better person. And that hasn't happened. Although, shout out to Trisha, who really is all she can to make me a human being. And like doing a halfway decent job because I don't just start screaming at people half the time anymore. So that's good. Now I take a breath before I start screaming at them.
Good. Yeah, no, that's good.
I give them time to brace for the volume that we're going to have to fight at. But yeah, no, it's good. It's good. Shout out to Trisha. She's she's a good person.
Incredible. That's an incredible way to end this podcast. Chiefs, I'll do play the Cowboys as you mentioned. Packers, Lions is the noon Thanksgiving game, and then Bengals, Ravens is going to be the nightcap.
Sounds like Burrow's going to play.
It does sound like Joe Burrow will play in that game. We'll see if it even matters. It probably won't because that defense is so bad. The defense is so bad, dude. I appreciate everybody watching all the way to the very end of the podcast. Thank you for dealing with my voice as I get us through here and get us all the way home. I'm looking up right now since we don't have a Friday show, or we probably will have a Friday show. Well, we'll fucking figure it out, I guess. I don't know.
We'll have a show somewhere.
Yeah, we will have a podcast after the Chiefs-Cowboys game. When after the Chiefs-Cowboys game, you'll have to find out. But we will have one after.
You'll see it.
Yeah, yeah. Keep refreshing. We'll let you know. 2 days ago. Oh yeah, no. I think. Oh no, this is a new one. STU United. KCSN is my go-to YouTube/Apple podcast channel. They offer great coverage of all my favorite NFL teams, the KC Chiefs. KCSN puts out at least one show. This sounds like it is AI until it gets to, however, that football show hosted by Tucker with Verderame is the show that tops all other shows ever made. In the history of any program ever made, they have all failed to live up to what TFS offers. Verderame and Tucker are simply able to collectively articulate what most Chiefs fans are thinking. It is truly fantastic. Watch or listen. I'd give it 10 stars if they would let me. Thank you guys for the show. Wow. Thank you, ST United. ST United, incredible one. I think I don't think I read this one actually. Bush_97. That football show is my absolute favorite Chiefs podcast. Matt and Tucker both tell it how it is and have great takes, along with good sense of humor. My favorite part is bringing up random games from the dark ages of Chiefs football. It really makes me appreciate what they have going on right now. It's without a doubt. It's not without a fail that we always end up bringing up a random ass game from like 2012. Like, remember that game?
We did it before the podcast started this time.
We did do it before the podcast started. Yeah, it was Kelsey 27. It was Chiefs Dolphins 2017, right?
2017. They were also talking about 2013 Chiefs Texans.
Yes, we did talk about that.
We won't get into why. That game came up and they beat a 2-14 Texans teams by a point at home.
Yeah,
quality outing.
Bush 97 also wants to know a quick question for both of you. Can anyone explain why it makes me irrationally angry when someone tries to tell me that KC barbecue isn't the best in the country?
Yeah, because those people are stupid. It's not irrational.
Bingo.
That's why I go to Trish. I got more work to do.
Nope, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think that was great. A lot of reviews from 2 days ago. So appreciate everybody. Biscuit, who also has Clinton in parentheses, says Matt and Tucker, you consistently don't stink, which puts you head and shoulders above the 2025 Chiefs. So,
all right, cool. Take it.
Yeah, we will take it. Appreciate all the kind words on the Apple Podcast. Again, leave a 5-star rating review, and I will read it.
Keep coming back. Keep watching. The last show did like 10,000 views. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, I mean we had
some odd comments. It's
like 100 in an hour, and I was like, oh my goodness.
When I saw the traffic initially, I was like, oh God, did I say something? I say something's going to be an awful announcing.
Yeah, awful.
It's like one of my biggest fears in life. Was like shit that I don't remember saying it.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that was recording when I said that. Yeah,
right.
I guess you guys have to stick around and find out if that ever does happen. Appreciate you guys listening all the way to the podcast. That's going to do it for Matt Verderame. I'm Tucker Franklin. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back after Chiefs and Cowboys. We'll see them.